Alrighty then. I had a little trouble starting Firefox, but here I am. This hour on Verbling, the last class in our Getting Results in Business series unit on how to talk about, oh no, wait, that's not right. It says how to talk about success. Sorry, no. It's the last one on job performance. I should have changed the title because we didn't quite get to the activity. So today we're going to focus on our final task from job performance, which is doing a job appraisal. I'll change the title later. Sorry about that. We're going to skip the introduction here. Just keep in mind that you should turn off your microphone when you're not speaking. Tune in to the new words you learn throughout the class. Use them as actively as you can so I can correct you. And open up to your classmates. Just relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and we are all respectful. So keep that in mind, because I don't want to go through the whole introduction. I want to jump right into class. And what I'm going to do for everyone is share my screen so you can see the presentation, but also I'll give you the links in just a second so you can open them on your computer. First, if you want to open the presentation on screen, you can do so at this link. Yep, that's it. And I don't know if we'll use our notes document. Okay, but if we do use the notes, it'll be at the second link, okay? Just so you can see. And let's see if I can just quickly get my name on screen, and then we'll get started. My name should appear, and it didn't appear. Give me a second. Oh, come on. I think I'm going to start using a different browser because I keep having trouble getting the class started. That never used to happen before. Now it's happening all the time. Okay, now you can see my name. Let me just make sure I know everyone. So we've got Alessia, great. We've got Alex back, fantastic. Daniel, long time no see. Paco, nice to see you again. And I can't see who's at the end. I guess that's Ahmed?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hello, Ahmed. How are you?
Fine, good. How are you?
Good. Okay, let me know if there's any problem hearing me or anything like that. Okay, because if so, I might have to leave and come back in. Yesterday I had a problem as well. I don't know what's going on with Firefox these days or whatever it is. Okay, I've given you those links. What we're going to do is jump into our activity. Even if you weren't here in the other classes, don't worry. This is more of a conversation class. You can come and go as you like, but I'll explain what we're going to do. We've been talking about job appraisals all week. We've been learning some key expressions and vocabulary, and now when I get my document open here, on which I'm going to share with you, we're going to try one ourselves in a realistic speaking situation, a simulation of something you might have to do at work. Let's see if I have my job appraisal open. Hold on. And I have no idea where it is. So let me download it from the browser, the same as I gave you. Let me just open that on the browser first, because it has disappeared. Hold on a second here. Download as PDF. Okay. And it'll take just a second, but is it there? Yeah. Open with PDF. Are we good? Do I have it? Give me just a second to get this open. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you so you can follow along. We're going to jump right into the activity. So we're going to put together everything we've learned about personal qualities. If you haven't been in the class, you'll do your best to use adjectives which describe personal qualities, your work ethic, whether you're hardworking, dedicated, caring, that kind of thing. We'll do our best to use key expressions to appraise performance and to give feedback. Good job. You've done the best you can. Keep it up. These are some expressions we talked about in the past. And most important, this was difficult. Using the past continuous, past perfect, and past simple to describe your performance or your experience in your job. So we've done a lot of work with that in the past 2 classes, but you have an opportunity now to do it in a more realistic way. Okay, yesterday we began by reading the expert view. I'm going to just remind you of what, hang on a second here. Let me go to the task first before we do anything else. Hold on. First, let me start with what we need to do today. Yesterday we heard 2 people. We heard 2 people attending a presentation. So 2 Balkan Health Food Corp employees are attending a presentation training session with Media Training Associates. It's the start of the day, and they are asked to give short presentations of some of the products. Listen and make notes about the performances. Okay, yesterday we got this far, and then we had to stop, I think. You're going to imagine that you, all of us in the classroom, are the trainers. We need to discuss the performance of the 2 employees, and we need to write notes about the performance in the feedback form. In yesterday's notes, we came up with 7 points to keep in mind. So we'll go back to those in just a second. But those are the kind of notes you should be looking at. Okay, and then you will work with your partner. Well, we're going to work together in the class in part 3. You will be the trainer in the presentation, and someone else will be the trainee in the second presentation. You will take turns to give feedback on your performances. We have another option here. If you have a short presentation that you'd like to give, you can also do it, as long as it's like, let's say, less than 2 minutes. You can do your presentation, your real one, and we can try to give you an appraisal using those 7 points. The 7 points I'm talking about are in the notes document. Okay, so you can open the notes if you like, or you can just follow along, and I'll remind you of what we said yesterday. Give me a second just to open that. Actually, it's going to take a minute to open. So what we're going to do is we're going to start. No. We need to actually listen to the points first. So hang on a second. Yeah, you need to know what to take notes on before you listen. So let me open the document first. And for those of you who are following along by watching, I'll paste this in the chat. Copy and paste this in the chat window for you. Okay. So give me just a second. Let's see, I think it's on page 4. I have to stop using Firefox, it's too slow. Give me a second here. Almost there. Almost. Hold on. Everyone stay calm. It's okay, don't panic. I'm going to punch my computer in just a second if it doesn't work. You can punch a computer. You can't punch a person. Punching a computer is okay. Give me a second. Almost there. Unbelievable. All right. I have absolutely no idea where it is. I don't see it. Where is it? It's gone. I have no idea. I can't find it. Maybe it's, is that it? Yep, found it. Okay, May 28th, I found it. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste these in the chat window. It's also in the document, okay?
Okay.
But these are the things we talked about yesterday. You can see it there. So, you can see it in the VerbLink chat. Keeping the audience in mind is something you should think about when appraising the performance of our presenters. Do they keep the audience in mind? Are they making the presentation easy to understand for that specific audience, not just in general? Using non-distracting body language. Well, we're not going to see them, but we're going to hear them. So we can still talk about that. Maintaining good eye contact. We're not going to see them, but that's something to keep in mind in general, body language. Okay, next. Employing simple visuals. Do the visuals support what's being said? Are they different than what's being said? Or are they too distracting? Is there maybe too much media? In other words, sometimes they take over the presentation. They should not be the main thing. Visuals are like PowerPoint presentations, videos, audio, anything like that. Number 5, good time management. Did the presenter allow enough time for questions at the end? Was the introduction clear and short? Was the development long enough for everyone to understand the main points? Were there too many topics for the time allowed? Because we can cut things out if necessary. Point number 6, fielding audience questions. Does the presenter answer with expertise? 7, this is the most important point of all, clear delivery. Pronunciation is good, language is accurate, and I can add one more point here, signposting. Signposting means using the right connectors, like to begin with, I should also add, then, next, last, using the right connectors to keep the audience aware of what was said, where you're going with it, and where you are in the presentation, to keep them always oriented towards the topic. Finally, point number 8 we can't really talk about, but point number 8 is the venue. When someone's doing the presentation, is the venue right? Is it too hot? Is it too cold? Is the sound quality good or bad, etc.? We can't really talk about that one here. But these are some of the main points. Number 7 is the most important point for our purposes. Here we go. Let's listen to 2 different presenters, and first we're going to evaluate their performances, and then we'll turn it over to you if you'd like to present, or if not, we'll use some material from the class. Are you ready? Ready! Yeah. Here we go. Let's see. Do I have the text with me? Yes, I do. Give me just a second here because I want to open up my PDF first. I'm gonna let you read this later, but I want to open up mine first because I want you just to listen the first time. Then we'll read it together. Okay. Here is presenter 1. Listen carefully. Good morning, and thanks for coming. I'm going to tell you about some of our products. This is the first one, Croatian olive oil. As you know, it's better than olive oil from other countries, and we think it will be popular in the rest of Europe because it's healthy. Oh, feel free to ask questions if you want. I think families will buy it for cooking, and we also have paprika cakes, which are nice too. Thanks for listening. Are there any questions? Any questions? Okay, that's speaker number 1. Listen now to speaker number 2. Good afternoon, everyone. It's very nice to be here and to have this opportunity to present some of our traditional Croatian food products for you. I will be talking briefly about our olive oil, and then I will present a Croatian speciality. Paprika, I think it's maybe I can't say this right. It's not paprika, sorry. Paprenja cakes. At the end of my presentation, you will get a chance to try the products, and I will be glad to take any questions. Later in the presentation, he says, so, this is our olive oil. We all know about the health benefits of olive oil, and this olive oil tastes fantastic. The quality is excellent because of the Croatian soil conditions and climate. We can also offer a competitive price, so I'm sure it will do well in Europe. Later in the presentation, our speaker adds, now let me present a product you might not know about. These are paprenja cakes, and they're traditional in Croatia. They're made using honey, walnuts, and pepper. The combination of sweetness and pepper is delicious, and it will definitely be something new and different for people to try. Finally, at the end of the presentation, our presenter says, so, those are 2 of our most popular products. Some samples will be coming around now for you to taste. Are there any questions? Those are our two presenters. Those are our two presenters. Okay? What I want you to note is specifically point number 7 that I put in the chat window, which is clear delivery, pronunciation, accurate language use, and signposting. And what you're going to do now is, as a group, imagine you're the trainers from Media Associates. You've been training the people from this company, Balkan Health Food Corporation. You've been training them how to do presentations. You now must discuss the performance of the two employees you just heard. Write notes about the performance in the feedback form. Let me just ask you a question before we do that. Would you like to hear the presentations again, or do you have the gist? Would you like to hear it one more time so you can take some notes, or do you feel ready to discuss and evaluate the performances of these people? What do you think?
I prefer listen again.
Okay, let's listen and read at the same time. It might be easier.
Okay.
So look on page 8 of our presentation, slide 8. Okay. Good morning, and thanks for coming. I'm going to tell you about some of our products. This is the first one, Croatian olive oil. As you know, it's better than olive oil from other countries, and well, we think it will be popular in the rest of Europe because it's healthy. Oh, feel free to ask questions if you want. And I think families will buy it for cooking. And we also have pepperentia cakes, which are nice too. Thanks for listening. Are there any questions?
Okay. Sorry, John. I didn't see the right page of presentation, and so I understand now. Because before I only listen. I only hear you. So sometimes I don't understand some words, but now I have it. I got it.
Okay. So,
I don't know, because the other people maybe don't want to listen again. I don't know.
well, you tell me. Well, let me have you read. Let's read the second one together.
Okay.
Okay. So, Alessia, you take the first paragraph, and then Alex, and then Paco, and then Yuki. I think we don't have enough for everyone, but then we'll start a discussion with Ahmed at the end. So, Alessia, read the first one for the good presenter, 69.
Okay, it's good afternoon.
Yep.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's very nice to be here and to have this opportunity to present some of our traditional Croatian food product to you.
Croatian. TI is a sh.
Like Croatia? No.
Yeah, like the country, but the pronunciation is Croatian.
Croatian.
Good.
Okay, I will be talking briefly about your olive oil, and then I will present a Croatian specialty pepperenjak cake.
I have no idea. Pepperenjak, I guess. Pepperenjak. I don't know. I'm not Croatian. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's pepperenjak.
Okay. At the end of my presentation, we'll get a chance to try the product, and we'll be glad to take any questions.
Right. So, okay, let's read it first, then we'll talk about it. Alex, I'd like you to take the second paragraph. Okay, don't forget to turn on your microphone there, Alex. Hello, Alex? Are you there? Alex? Uh-oh, I don't hear you, Alex. Okay, we'll come back to you. Paco, I'd like you to take the second paragraph for us.
Okay, so this is our oil. This is our olive oil. We all know about the health benefits of olive oil, and this is olive oil tastes fantastic. The quality is excellent because of the Croatian soil condition and climate. I think climate, sorry.
Right.
We can also offer competitive price, so I'm sure it will be do well in Europe. Now let me present a product.
Oh, let's go on to Yuki for the next one. so I can give everyone a chance to read. Go for it, Yuki.
Now let me present a product that you might not know about. These are papureña cakes, and they are traditional in Croatia, right?
Yep.
They are made using honey, walnuts, and pepper. The combination of sweetness and pepper is delicious, and it will definitely be something new and different for people to try.
Sounds good. And last one is Ahmed. What can you read the conclusion for us, Ahmed?
Okay, sure. So those are two of our most popular products. Some samples will be coming around now for you to taste. Are there any questions?
Okay. So let's imagine that we are the trainers of this company, and we need to do an appraisal. Now, we can't really say anything negative. We've got to be careful how we say this. But we need to appraise both performances and say something pretty clear about this, right? So let's imagine we're giving feedback. The four of us, the five of us, if you include me, the five of us are giving feedback to our two presenters. We've got to be diplomatic. What I'd like is, I'd like each of you maybe to say one thing about each, and you can pick up on what the other person would say. You can agree or disagree. Okay? One last thing I want to point out is don't forget our key expressions that we've learned. So just for example, let me see if I can quickly go back to our unit. Just for example, I'll remind you in just a second. At the end of one of the presentations, I can give you a link if you like, but at the end of one of the presentations, we had a whole set of key expressions, and I believe we had homework about them too. For example, giving a formal appraisal, overall, in general, we're happy with, we're pleased with, encouraging self-evaluation. What I'll do here is, it's probably better that you see this on screen, so what I'm going to do is go back and see if I can quickly get that on screen for you as well. Okay? So it'll take me a minute. But let's try this. As a class, let's say if we can say one thing about each of the presenters, and then you can agree or disagree with each other as you like. Okay? So, hi everyone, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening to our presenters. It's time to give them a little feedback. Who'd like to start?
Maybe I'll
go for it.
I can give a appraisal. I can make appraisal of these two presenters. I think first presenter have a problem with fluency, and there are many how to say there are many moments. There are moments when we can't understand what he wanted to say, and there is no there's no key words. So I don't know.
Connectors.
And so yes, there is no clear connectors. So it's difficult for audience to understand what he want to underline.
Underscore is a better word.
Underscore,
right?
Yes. And second presenter have a very meaningful, give a very meaningful presentation, and it is easy for us to understand what he meant. because connector is very clear and the key point is presented very effectively, and the construction of sentence is very logical, so it's very clear for us.
Okay, okay, good. That's very good.
Next point.
I'm gonna 1 second, Yuki. What I want to do here is I just want to quickly share with you. First, look at those key expressions from earlier. I'm going to share my screen with you here. This is from the second presentation that I gave you, and I'll give you the link to this as well. On the last page of that presentation, we have our key expressions, which I want you to use actively. So, Yuki, your name is not Guinea. Yuki, you are our guinea pig, but I'd like everyone else to try to use these expressions as you're agreeing or disagreeing with Yuki. I'll put the link in the chat window. So this is presentation 2. So it's there now, but I'll share it on screen. So let's take some of what Yuki said, and let's see how it might sound quickly with one of these key expressions. So Yuki, everything you said was very clear. What you could have done, perhaps, is started with an expression like, imagine you're talking to them directly. You could say, well, overall, we feel that both of you put forth a great effort. You've always got to say something positive, even if it's not true. You just have to, right? So we always have to frame things in a constructive way. Overall, you've always put forth a great effort. We're very pleased with your performance. Okay, and then let me give you a little trick. So, in the notes document, I'm going to write this down under today. Today is the 30th of May, isn't it? 30th of May. We're going to call this class 12. I'm going to give you a little trick, everyone. How to give an appraisal. Does everyone know the company Avon? Has everyone heard of that company, Avon?
No.
Avon is a famous cosmetic company that had a very clever marketing strategy. What they did was to get women to have little parties where they would present their products to their friends. So basically, you could become an Avon lady and you'd host an Avon party. Your friends would come over, women friends, and you would sell the products to them rather than just going to a store. So it was kind of a word-of-mouth way of marketing. But Avon had a philosophy. They knew that the women selling the products may not be trained salespeople. So they had a good idea, which I think you should keep in mind, of how to give an appraisal, how to give feedback as they were training other women to do these parties. So it's kind of like a pyramid scheme. They were one person would sell, then they would get other people, teach them how to sell, and so on. So here's my advice. This was Avon's advice. How to give an appraisal. You must create what did I used to call this? A appraise sandwich. Not the kind of sandwich you eat, but I'll show you what I mean. Appraise sandwich. What I mean is this. 3 slices. First, give praise about a strong point. Next, give a suggestion a suggestion for improvement about a weak point, but don't say it was weak. That's the important thing. Don't actually say that it was weak. Finally, guess what? Step 3 is repeat step 1. That was the secret of the Avon appraisal method, the praise sandwich. I think it's good for everyone to keep in mind because it keeps things sounding really positive, even if it's not 100% true. You know, one good thing is that it forces you to look for the positive, not just the negative, because the negative will be really obvious. The first presenter is obviously terrible, obviously, right? But if we force ourselves to look for a strong point, we're going to be able to communicate our real purpose, which is how to get them to improve. We'll be able to communicate that much easier because A, we'll be more objective, looking for a strong point because the weak points are so obvious, and B, the person will accept the criticism much, much easier if they're told that it's not totally bad, right? There are good points. Okay? So how could we use that method? This is just my suggestion. You don't have to do it this way, but I think it's not a bad way to go. Avon was very successful. First of all, any questions about the praise sandwich, how it works? Any questions about the praise sandwich? Clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. So it's 2 slices of praise with a big hunk of meat about improvement in the middle. That's why it's a sandwich. So you might say, let's take Yuki's example. Well, overall, both of you put forth a great effort. We can see that you're really trying to explain your products as best you could. So we're quite pleased with your level of enthusiasm and energy, something like that. Encourage self-evaluation. That might be something that you would do in the middle about giving feedback on a weak point. So you might say, one area you could improve would be speaker 1. One area you could improve is perhaps working on your delivery. How do you feel about your delivery? Ask them. Then whatever they say, it's not you criticizing them, it's them talking about it themselves. Or if you don't want to ask them, you could say, something like, one area you could improve perhaps is you could practice this more on your own and time yourself so that you really have a chance to say, you get to hear yourself saying it in the time frame. It'll give you some you'll be a little bit more confident when you get on the stage or something like that. But now you've got to go back to the praise sandwich. But you seem to be doing really well with what you want to say, and that's great. You just have to work on your presentation and maybe some organization skills, properly giving us a clear beginning so that we can follow through to the end. So great job overall. Okay. You don't have to be that happy about it, but that's just an example. So I want to encourage you to say things like this. So for the rest of you, what else, using these, I got to keep this on screen, sorry. For the rest, hello, get back on screen. For the rest of you, I'd like you to agree, disagree, add to what Yuki said about either speaker. I'd like each of you maybe to make 1 point about one or both of the speakers. Okay? So Paco, what would you say? Do you agree, disagree with Yuki, and what might you add?
I think I disagree.
Okay, great. So tell us about that. Now, Paco, imagine you're talking to me. I'm the 2 presenters. Okay? So you have to be positive, but you can talk about what you disagree with. Imagine you're giving me feedback directly, appraising my performance.
And you are the speaker number 1.
Okay.
You're right.
I'm Bob, the nervous guy.
Right. In general, I think the message is very clear. You're talking about olive oil as a good product, and I agree with you. But I think...
Use one of those self-evaluation. You could use one of those.
Sorry?
If you like, you could use one of those key expressions for self-evaluation. If you like. Rather than give it to me as a negative criticism, you could ask me how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, I follow with the speech. In general, I think the message is very clear. You're talking about olive oil, And how do you feel about more about the quality of this product? And give some details about Prapinga cake. I think you can improve this speech, giving more details about the quality of and the taste of the product.
Mm-hmm. Give me a chance to answer the question, though. Give me a chance to answer the question. Ask me the question again. How do I feel about what?
How do you feel about to give more details and about the products and the qualities of the Prapinga cake, for example?
I feel good about it. Yeah, I should do that. What should I say? I like the product. It's really good. What else should I say?
What do you think would help you to imagine the product when you're talking about it, and remember the taste, for example, to give more details and more passion when you're talking about this marvelous cake, for example?
Oh yeah, well, when I was a kid, my mother used to make this cake for me, and it was really spicy and good, and it reminds me of my mother. Should I talk about that?
Yes, I think you can give. You could talk
okay.
about this little story.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Because I could say, for example, well, when I was in grade school, I would come home and there'd be a papreniak cake waiting for me on special occasions, and I can remember how it was peppery, and it would sort of be like it would like sting my tongue, but it was really sweet at the same time, and it's a special feeling that only Croatian people understand, and everyone should get to understand that. So I could say that. Does that sound okay?
Yes, because the audience can understand why the product is good.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I'll keep that in mind for next time. Okay, great. Very good. Alessia, I'd like you to say something to speaker 1 or speaker 2. You can say something to both of them. Now, you can add to what Paco said. You can agree. You can disagree. You can add to what Yuki said. You can agree. You can disagree. What would you say?
I agree with Yuki,
Mm-hmm.
but I think
remember, you're talking to me, giving me appraisal, right? So I'm speaker 1 and speaker 2.
Okay.
Speak to me directly.
I could say Robert and Jack. I want to speak with you about your performance. And
don't forget those key expressions on the left side. Giving a formal appraisal. See if you can use those actively. Yeah. Like, we're very pleased, we're very happy, one of your strengths is. Try to use those specifically if you can.
I'm really happy because I have appreciated your dedication to present our new product, and I think that Robert, by the way, has to improve is able to stand in front of people. Because his body, your body,
body language.
Transfer something like.
So the word is to come across, not transfer, but to come across.
Come across.
You come across as what? You come across how?
Give me a moment. Insecurity, maybe.
Okay, you come across as unconfident, maybe.
Unconfident. But I think this is not. I a great day for you, because in another time you show me a great give me a moment, I take a case.
Say it in the best way you can, and I'll help you.
You have great motivation, and I think you could improve. Jack, you have, and besides Jack, I think you make a great job. I'm very happy to serve you. But you cover,
yeah.
not cover. You give me across to me, or come across to me. Like
Okay,
a sensation, a feels that is like a story that you learn with memory, and you really don't feel this product.
It's a little hard to hear you on that one. So, I come across. So I'm Jack. I come across well, or I come across not so well. I'm not quite sure.
I think your presentation was very, very good, and I can say in a moment. Sorry. Perfect. But I feel that the message and the product, you really love it, and because I have to positive, no, and I give,
yeah. Look at this. Look at this expression on the left side. Perhaps one thing to work on, or perhaps one thing to consider is, you could use that if you want to give negative feedback, because it sounds positive.
That's all.
Oh, what do you want me to work on? I thought you were going to tell me something to work on. Okay. I want to give everyone a chance to speak here, but so we've got Alessia, Paco, Yuki. So, Ahmed,
Yes.
I'd like you to add or subtract, agree or disagree with what Alessia said. You can speak about the weak guy, which we called Bob or Robert, or the strong guy, which we called Jack. You can talk to one of them, you can talk to both of them.
Okay.
What would you say? Remember, you're talking to me. You're giving me feedback. I'm both of those people.
Okay, okay. Well, glad to hearing you, and you have a good things, good products, and for the first one, or for the first speaker, I think you have a good products, and you have to make a good thing, but let me ask you something.
Sure.
What's your plan to make this product popular in Europe?
What's the plan to make the product available?
Available or popular in Europe, I mean.
Available in Europe, right?
Not available, popular. I mean.
Popular. Sorry, popular.
Yes.
Oh,
popular.
I see. You're speaking to speaker one, right? Speaker one?
Yeah, the speaker one.
Speaker one is the guy who's a little dumb. Well, I don't know. I guess I like it, so I think everyone will like it, and they have to know, you know, how it tastes, and they have to know that it's a traditional product, and I think hopefully people will like it. I don't know. What do you think? Does that sound good?
Okay, no, I think you don't have good plans for it, but you can work on it. You can think about how to make it popular, because you have a good product, and you have to work on it to make it popular and make it more tasty. And
Ahmed, try to use this expression. Perhaps one thing to work on is, perhaps one thing to consider is, give him some clear feedback about what he could improve, about his presentation mostly. You can talk about the product too, but mostly about his presentation. What would you say to him?
okay, perhaps one thing to work on, you have to be more confidence. You have good ideas, and you have to organize them and speak with confidence, and make your speech more stronger, and maybe that's it.
Okay, very good. Let's take a look at some feedback from all of you. To come across as, sometimes people will say transmit, but that's not really the right word in English. It's to come across. You come across as, maybe, you don't want to say unconfident, maybe that's too strong, but not as confident as you could. In other words, we don't want to be too critical. So come across as is a good expression to use. Someone, I think it was Alessia, you were saying you make a great job. But remember, fare is make or do. So if you put forth an effort, it's do. So you did, no, not that. You did a great job, not make a great job. You make a cake, but you do an effort. So you did a great job rather than make. Is that pretty clear? The difference is you make means create. Do means effort or work. So do work, create. For example, make a cake, but do your homework. Homework takes effort. Alessia, is that clear? The difference?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I use it make.
Yeah, you said make a great job.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Don't be sorry.
Realize.
Don't be sorry. It's nothing to be sorry about.
I know, I didn't
But
realize that you're speaking with me for did and make.
In this case, I think it was something I wrote down when you were speaking. But the difference is this. Make equals create, just to remember.
Yeah.
And do equals effort. Or I should do equals work. So that's why we say do your homework, but make your bed. You're organizing the bed, so you're making it. You're making a cake because you're creating it. But you have to do exercise because it's physical work. Just a little trick to remember the difference. And Ahmed, one thing I want to say here is remember the comparative form, right? Because you wouldn't say, I was hearing you say things like more stronger, right? But if you say there's no need for more because it's just more. It's just either stronger. We don't say more strong because strong is a little word, but we just need to say stronger, nothing else. Because I was hearing you add the word more once or twice. So the comparative form is either more if it's a big word like expensive, or just if it's a little word like big. Big would become bigger, expensive would become more expensive. Is that clear, Ahmed?
Yeah.
Okay, just to keep that in mind. And one last thing I want to say in general to everyone is, in this class, I lost Firefox. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
John?
Where is he? He's gone.
Oh.
I think something happened.
I think he has a connection problem.
Yeah.
He still come back.
I think it's browser problem. Because Firefox sometimes give a problem. when you open more page.
I think he's not gonna come back.
Mm.
The class I think is over.
We lost the teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, good to see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Yuki.
Hi, Ahmad.
How are you?
Fine.
Good, good. Are you waiting for John or leaving?
Maybe he wouldn't come back.
I'm not sure,
So
but do
I'll
you
go.
have Verbling page open? If you have it, he might text something there.
You mean that today's
No.
document?
No. I mean Verbling chat. Do you have it open? Because some teachers they might
Uh,
text something there.
I can see the Bubbling chat and Google chat both.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything from Jon-Eric? Posted something.
No, there is no message from John.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, both in Bubbling chat and group chat.
Yeah, I see. Anyway, the time is over already. So
Okay.
I think it is okay if we left, right?
Yeah. Sorry?
It is okay if we leave this. Here you go.
Oh, he had come back.
John has back.
John, welcome back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
can.
I hear you.
All right.
We were talking about you not to come back.
No, I'm back. I think there's something wrong with Firefox because this keeps happening to me, and ever since Firefox updated, I cannot use it in the Hangout.
Recently, Firefox have update, so some problem with new version of
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Well, I'm using Chrome now, so maybe.
No problem. Or Google Chrome?
Google Chrome doesn't work that well for me, but anyway, it seems to work better with the Hangout. I don't know. So, all right. Well, listen. Anyway, I just came back to say goodbye.
Thank you. How sweet.
Because unfortunately, the last 2 weeks and next week as well, I have back-to-back classes. So it's really hard to get in and out of these classes because I'm actually at different schools. I have to start a new class. What I wanted to say before I left was just in these getting results in business classes, when it comes to the vocabulary and the key expressions, I want you to use as actively as you can. Try to use those words and those expressions so that they become really familiar to you. You can always use your own vocabulary. That's okay too. But I want everyone to try to use very deliberately the expressions that I'm putting in the material so it becomes familiar and so that you can sound maybe more like a native speaker or at least know the difference. Just because sometimes we express ourselves in a way that a native speaker might not, even though it's the same idea. So just keep that in mind. So I'll try to always give you a set of key expressions and key vocabulary. We're done with this unit. As I said before, I'm transferring all of the vocabulary to Anki for you to review if you like. I have a free version and I have a not free version. The not free version is better. The free version will be in the notes document. So that's something else you can use to try to review the vocabulary. For the key expressions, I'm going to do the same thing. But as I said, I'll try to make a free version too, perhaps using a mind map. Something, because I'm afraid that you'll learn the stuff and it'll just disappear later. So I'm working on that as a solution for long-term retention of what we're learning. That's all I wanted to say. Fortunately, I've got to go. Sorry.
Just one thing, John.
Sure.
This class about job performance or success?
Originally, it was starting a new unit, but
Yeah.
actually, yesterday we didn't get to the activity, so I forgot to change the title.
Ah, yeah, that's why I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to change the title because because as I said, I was having trouble with Firefox and I just got confused and forgot. So the success unit will start on Monday,
Okay.
and it will not be 12 sessions long because I think that's too many sessions, but it'll be enough to get done what we have to get done. But it'll start on Monday.
Okay.
All right? That will be the last unit in this level. Afterwards, we're moving up to upper intermediate. So ready or not, we're going to a higher level, just so you know. Okay?
Okay.
Have a good weekend if I don't see you.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank
Have a good weekend.
you.
Bye for now, everyone.
Yeah,
See you
bye-bye.
next
Bye
time.
for now.
Yeah, see you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you.
Okay, bye.